Say you got a game 15 versus 15. Now, player is good, very, very good, becomes a legend, even top-rated player in the game, better than 100% of players. Now, so far nothing to complain about, because skill got him to the top. Then something is clearly happening. The guy starts losing, but not just losing here and there. He is losing all the time. Doesn't it strike you a bit odd that the very same player ranked first in the game can't seem to win a game? From 73 win rate 40k battles, to 53 win rate 45k battles, from 8.7k rating down to 6k in 3 months. Something was happening. This doesn't just happen by bad luck. Good player normally remains a good player. See, as it turns out, the cheating at first wasn't so obvious to the naked eye. We as gamers see cheating by the, how shall we say, minus unconventional things we encountered during games, but never tend to look at the subtleties, or better I say, overlooking them altogether. It could be, and has been, easily reflected by the data change that occurred in great player stats, but it wasn't so clear as to point out where exactly is the cheating taking place. Then I came around and started to wake people up to the things they seem to be overlooking. Advantage points, XVM, and rigging. The fourth kind, I am not even going to touch. The three first ones are more than enough to completely obliterate any good player playing the game. The fourth is of course the use of program that allows you to see everyone and everything. Pure blatant cheating, as we come to know in the gaming world as wall hackers, complete losers who destroy games because they are gay. Now, why the first three are already enough to destroy the game and any good player who is trying to play it, you might ask. And why it is cheating pure and simple, even when those are clearly things that seem as if they are kind of background to the main story. Well, let's dive into what makes the first three destroy the game completely, and then how they influence the outcome and stats of any good player from keep winning. Start with the first one. Advantage points. Same as in World of Warplanes and World of Warships. Wargaming is using the same algorithm to set up the matching of battles. The better you are, the harder your battles become, while 99% of players are oblivious to this fact. The top 1% felt it down to the core, because the game has become practically unplayable for them. Bad or normal players might have a bad game from time to time, but incredibly skilled players don't have bad games. They just don't. For them, being thrown into an arena of 15 normal players is like putting a lion in a cage match with house cats. Lol. The outcome is practically almost certain. They will find a way to win, same as I did with my Tiger tank when I was alone against 10 players. I won. Now, if you keep winning, even battles you were supposed to be losing, this is when the game gives you an advantage point. You keep winning. You get even more. If the game considers you in terms of proven DMG potential a threat to the enemy team, so much so that from the game algorithm point of view, you are likely to kill at least 5 enemies in every single battle. That means the matchmaking system will consider you as 5 players when going into queue for battle. This is going to be reflected by the combined rating points for each of the teams. Considering a player with 5 advantage points, say his rating is 7k multiplied by 5, this is exactly what you will get on average. The enemy team on average of 100 battles will have 35k combined rating higher than his team's. Now when does it start to become a problem? Around 7 advantage points. I have 8. Because there comes a point when the battles are so imbalanced, it is ridiculous. You end up fighting 15 versus 7 and 8 bots. Let's move over to the second parameter, the XVM, and let's examine how cheating is happening on a very successful and subtle matter. Also how the combination of the two parameters, the advantage points and XVM put together, makes the game practically unplayable for the greatest performance players. The XVM sounds like a pretty harmless thing, but rest assured it is cheating. So far great players had only one thing to worry about while facing the enemy team, the destruction of the enemy. And the more advantage points they had, the better the strategic mind they had to have in order to overcome the disadvantage of playing against the superior enemy force with better tanks and better players overall. The tactical advantage was nothing to worry about. The great players had this one covered. I even remember being boxed in by 5 enemy tanks, and I have destroyed them all. But it's not the tactical that you worry about when playing with 8 advantage points. It's the strategic aspect of battle. You already know when the battles start that your team is the weaker team. You already know. You have about 5 minutes at best before your entire team is completely wiped out. I found the best strategy to get around that so I can go ahead and keep winning. I used to rush forward as fast as I possibly could at any given battle to reach the best engagement area. Take out as many enemies as I can, right at the start of each battle. This was done to prevent the enemy team from steamrolling me at the end with 12 tanks. But I figured if I take out 5 tanks at the very beginning, and played a fallback attritional battle, practically bleeding out the enemy teams of their strength of numbers. At the endgame stage of the battles, I will have a greater chance of coming up on top, and it worked. I kept winning. This is when XVM came into World of Tanks. So far, as I said, I only had to worry about the size, composition and strength of the enemy team. But when players started using the XVM cheating program, I felt it instantly. So far, battles might have been unfair and hard, but when XVM cheaters showed up, I was no longer embedded inside my team in obscurity, so to speak. I began being hunted. So far, when a battle was played out before XVM cheaters showed up, I could fall back, relocate, use my teammates sometimes as a barrier, a shield if you will, use the fact that the enemy teams don't know who is the most dangerous player in my team. Me, so enemy teams targeted everyone in my team, and I could use that to maneuver as I fall back, engage and disengage. When the situation suggested, I moved to a better location to keep draining the enemy team's blood. So I will reach the final stages of battle with the possibility of winning. But when XVM cheaters showed up, I noticed how things changed immediately. I was no longer able to maneuver. All enemies would never ever target any of my teammates' tanks while I am in the area. All enemies will target only me. Suicidal enemies. I have noticed more and more all enemy players suicide on my tank. Not even to kill me, just for the possibility of damaging my tank. Entire enemy team, including Artie, completely ignoring my team. And once I am spotted, even once 15 enemy players rush to my location on the map and suicide on my tank. This was a very different game than the one I used to play. It was no longer a game I could win. I was singled out, hunted. It was a 15 versus 1 game and a few bots. And to seal the deal, the third and final parameter came into play. And the reason I decided to quit World of Tanks altogether, rigged game. I have noticed a lot of battles where 12 tanks in my team made no damage to the enemy. This was 15 versus 1 game. I love playing against insurmountable odds. But what this game has become, well, insurmountable odds sounds like a walk in the park compared to it. World of Tanks. World of Tanks was truly a great game before cheaters destroyed it. So now I still play from time to time, but I already know beforehand, when I start any battle, no matter the time, no matter what tank, the odds are stacked against me so high. I can only lose rating points as I keep playing. The funny thing is, players with no skill talk about my WN8, they simply do not understand that my World of Tanks is not their World of Tanks. I am a priority target by 15 cheaters in every single battle. I am always targeted first and suicided on by enemy players. This by itself prevents me to play the game in a contributing manner to my teams, or even to myself, to prevent the rating steep dive I've been having. And if those same people who talk about the 1.N8 were in my place playing the game from my profile, only then they would realize that the reason the WN8 does not fit the abilities I have is only because we are not playing the same game. First and foremost, I will show you facts. Weak players who cheat using the XVM program and mock my WN8 say that there is no such thing as advantage points and I am making this stuff up. This is a picture of my profile in World of Warplanes before it got deleted for not visiting the game over 5 years. I quit the World of Warplanes game because the game was not even remotely fair. You had much stronger enemy teams with better planes. AL after me and ignoring my teams. The same stuff happens right now in World of Tanks. The pattern only repeats itself. I quit because of impossible matchmaking. It wasn't even remotely fair, all because of those advantage points. If I were to pick a propeller engine tier 8 plane, the enemy would get 1 tier 8 and 2 jet planes tier 9 or 10 to balance the game. A total of 3 planes in the enemy team as a base value against my plane, and only then the game would start the rest of the matchmaking. Sure, it is true that I was terrifying sight to behold by an enemy team because I could take down entire teams by myself, even when I was all alone and my team has already been shot down. But make a note of the fact that minus in the sky, even a 2 against 1 advantage is a multiplier of the difficulty level, because there comes a moment where the skill cannot overcome the odds. Same as it is true in World of Tanks. You put 1 excellent tank with a great player against 2 total loser, but the best player is in the middle, and each time he wants to shoot one of the 2 total loser, one of them hides while the other opens fire on his back. And if the good player turns to face the other one, he who hides comes out and shoots him in the back from the other side. Being good won't help much when you are torn to shreds by both sides. Now, I have ways to get around that problem, but when you are talking about 15 players hunting only me, there is not much that can be done to overcome those odds. I will show you now a couple of old games replays before XVM cheaters destroyed the game. I took the pictures using an old mobile phone I had at the time to record. Sorry for the quality. And then I will show you a game from not long ago and what it has become nowadays, when it is infested with cheaters. I will also explain the thought process when going into battle, so you will understand what goes through my mind when I enter a battle, and you will see how it plays out. I will let you get into my mind now. Review the tactical analysis that goes inside my head before going into a battle infested with cheaters, considering the facts before going into battle. Fact number 1. The enemy players are cheating and will ignore my teammates if possible, even if it means abandoning key positions and locations on the map for the benefit of going after my tank. I know this even before going into battle because I adapt. I learned this from 3 years of sustained painful experience dealing with the cheaters on every single battle I take part in. Fact number 2. This map is a very small map, and I cannot help my team if I try to take a flank because I have to take into account the fact the enemy team is much stronger than my team. My plan? Go in the middle and provoke them by letting them see me. I know they will go after me and engage my tank with at least 9 tanks. By drawing them down to the center of the map, I will get 2 birds with 1 stone. Firstly, I will allow my team to take position on the hill by drawing enemy cheaters to my location away from the hill combat zone. Secondly, once they are done with me, they will be at a very bad position on the map. The cheaters that will fight me from the enemy base will get owned by my team's hill tanks. And the cheaters who went down after me will have a very hard time surviving trying to climb up out of there. This by itself would serve my team best, because I will be able to cause damage to the enemy tanks on a tactical and a strategic level. The enemy team will find itself surrounded from all sides and being attacked from an elevated position while trying to return to a stable, sustainable fighting position. Even if I have a weak team, it would be nearly impossible for them to lose this battle with such an overwhelming tactical advantage.
No presence and no mercy.
Unfortunately, in most battles, my teammates do not work with me. Actually, they work against me, and I have seen it countless times. This happens a lot, and it happens in a lot of ways. 1. They will not provide help when it is critically needed. Even abandon you, leaving the advantage you provide. 2. Some will even go as far as protecting the enemy tanks from my tank by blocking my turret gun. 3. Some will try to team kill my tank by pushing me into enemy fire. 4. Some will help the enemy to win for no apparent reason, like leaving the capture zone while a cap race is happening and your team is winning. Here are some examples captured in video.
That one left a nice big hole. Target acquired. Your armor can't stop us. They slipped away, the cowards. Where are they? Ah, Christmas is cancelled. You can't stop Kramposki. Let's get them. That one left a nice big hole. Their time will come. We tore through their armor. Trying to cripple us. Excellent. We have a place for you, my friend. Merry Kramposki Christmas. time to waste. Let's go. That one left a nice big hole. Destroy the track! Onward! They're trying to cripple us. Fools! All of you!
Moving to support you. Much obliged.
Got eyes on him! Come on! We just had him! Any last words? We damaged their armor! He must be somewhere out there! Oh yeah, I can smell blood! Hit the jackpot!
Thanks a lot.
Get after him!
Yes, sir.
Right on target!
They can move again. We're coming for
Track is damaged. They're aiming for our legs. We cannot move. Track is repaired. Excellent. Time to take our revenge. Yes. Penetration. Submit to me! Track is damaged. Delightfully devilish. They're aiming for our legs. The shell bounced. All our plans foiled. To take our revenge, yes. Come on, scratch them already. Your armor can't stop us. Get your present later.